Okay guys, here we are working on M54 BMW. This one is a 323i. What we did was replace the CCV system without removing the air intake. So I'm going to kind of explain to you the best I can how I've done it. Maybe it'll help some of you out there, because I know I put it off for a long time because it's such a pain in the butt to do. Well, first you have to take out the air filter box. Then you got to take out the upper and lower intake boots, which will go through here. Then you will take out the throttle body. It mounts up down there, right here, and just adjacent to the starter. By the way, while I had it apart and had access to the starter right there, I brushed off all the connections because you don't want any corrosion on those. And while you've got it apart, you might as well do it to preventative maintenance. Then you got your idle air control valve sits right on top, basically. It mounts to this screw, that hole, and that hole right there. It sits right up in here, and I'll try to get you down here for a minute. Hold on. Upside down for a minute. That right there is where the other side of your idle air control valve goes. While we're down here, this is the new CCV right here. That yellow tape is just notifying I knew which hose to get. As you can see, there's a screw there, holds it in. And then there's one right up above that. I don't know if I can see it right there, the top left corner, right above the tape. That's the second one. Okay, what I done first. By the way, you also got to take off your purge solenoid right here. That hose right there, you see open, that's it. And that round plug there, that's the plug to the throttle body. I had a little trouble with it, getting it off. I don't know if it's just from being on there forever or what, but see this? You gotta line it up. There's your other one. You gotta line those up with, let me show you the throttle body. Here's the throttle body. This one is a, let's see, there you go. That line right there. You're gonna line up the bottom line on the connector, turn it clockwise, and then the second line, I believe, should be lined up right there. That'll notify you that it is in and plugged up all the way. And you want to go ahead and clean your throttle body while you've got it off. Clean the inside of it, and be careful pushing on that butterfly inside there, right here, because there's gears in here that turn that plastic gears. Of course, you know they're old and probably brittle, like all the vacuum hoses and everything else on this car. So, back to the CCV. What I done was this hose going to the dipstick. Down here, see the dipstick? I cut it first. Now putting this back in, when you pull this old dipstick out, you want to make sure that your O-ring is on your old dipstick. It's going to be old and flat, probably not sealing anymore. You'll want to replace it. If it doesn't come out on your old dipstick, you want to stick your finger down in. See down there where it goes into the block, recessed? Stick your finger down there, it'll be sitting down at the bottom. Pull it out. Now my old dipstick is loose right now. I've got it loose because I'm not done putting it back together, because I thought I would make this video, maybe help some people out that are doing the same project. That put it off. I'm not going to say it was easy, but it wasn't as bad as I anticipated, hearing from everybody else. I was determined not to take off, and we were able to do it. Now, the next part of disassembling it was taking this off right here. Goes all the way back there. You got 4 screws holding it in. One here, here, here on the back side of there, and the last one right there. Take those out. Before you try to remove it, come down here. See this flex hose right here above the purge solenoid hose? That one right there, the plastic flex. Cut that right there when you're removing it. If you cut it right there, the further back this way as you can get, the better. It'll make it easier for when you pull it out. Now once you get those bolts loose, I'll show you what I did to get it loose. I just took something like this, got up under there, and gently did this one, this one, this one, so on, all the way till you get to the 6th one. You'll hear them, it'll almost sound like a piece of styrofoam breaking when they go to pop up. I did take this silicone lubricant spray and sprayed in right here. You can see these little, right there is where it goes in. There'll be a little O-ring on every one of those. Replace them if you've got them. Most likely they'll be flat spotted. It's just best to replace them if you've ordered them or got them. If not, I'm sure it'll probably be okay, because mine seemed to seal real tight when I put it back in without replacing them. I'm going to assume that they've been replaced since the car was new. Anyways, once you get this off, you'll want to put this piece, it goes all the way back here to the back here and up under here. You see it where it snaps in there? I went ahead, while I had this off the car, snap that in there, snap that in, and then I put this new piece here that goes under the intake, air intake. I went ahead and put that all together before I put this back on, this piece. And you'll have to snake that flex hose that goes down to the CCV into this slot right here. You just snake it down in there. Grab your other hand, come down here, grab it there, and feed it through to the CCV right here. I left the CCV loose till I plugged that one in. Once I got that one in, no, I got it bolted on loose and then plugged it in, I'm sorry. You get that one snapped in, then you can go ahead and put this all back on. Same way going in, just coming out. Put it in very gently. Try not to break. All of it's plastic, so you know it can break. Be very gentle. I had to take a rubber mallet and tap 1, 2, 3, and all the way down the line till I got them in and replace your screws. this line right here, while I'm thinking about it, right here, off the fuel rail, this line right here goes down right here by the oxygen sensor. You'll catch it, feed it through. See it down there? See that? Looks like braided line. That's what goes down here. Like you can see it kind of running with that plastic one. It's up on the top side of it, or behind it, I mean. Bring it in over here. That's the one with the yellow tape, so I, for one, could see it and know where it went. It plugs in right there about midways in the CCV. You'll see a little port for it. Mine was old and decrepit and was broke off there, actually. Or had a big crack in it, so I replaced that. Now, this line coming from the crankcase right here, I snapped that one in the bottom first. Well, I fed it in from this way, down through here, snap that line in, and while I'm on that, every snap connection, I did spray with silicone. And then I got this part in second. Made it a little easier. I got a zip tie holding it up away from the oil filter housing. That is temporary. I'm gonna let it go through 1 or 2 heat cycles and cut that so that this flex joint right here and the one on the bottom kind of forms accordingly like it should be. And then the only step left to the CCV, of course, I showed you got those 2 holes mounting it up. Make sure you tighten those on down after you get those 2 connected. Then the third one is right there. That's going down to your dipstick after it does its thing and separates it. The return oil will be going down here to your dipstick right there that my light's on. And what I done is while I have my dipstick out, I cleaned it up, sprayed carb cleaner in the bottom of it. Where the return oil comes, make sure it was cleaned out. Replace the O-ring. Make sure you replace the O-ring. Then I put a worm gear clamp on that hose down there. Pre-assembled it before I put it in. Once I got the dipstick back in, I fished that hose back up to here and then plugged it into the bottom there. That seemed to be the simplest way to do that, instead of trying to put it on down here and get a worm gear tightened up in that tight little spot. By the way, this electrical little box junction area, I don't know how yours will be, but that ground wire, if you follow it back, it goes right there. That my light's on down there. I don't know if you can see that black line with tape on it. That was covered in oil and gunk. I cleaned that up, took it off, made sure we had good connection there. And I'm trying to see what we've left off. Oh yeah. While you've got, the purge solenoid, I think I showed you. It goes right there where that hose is. It sits right up in there. Like so. Sits right up in there like this. Goes in. That comes from your charcoal canister. You'll want to spray silicone on those to get it off. But what I've done is these do go bad. I have it marked so I wouldn't get it mixed up. But what I done is I hooked air into this end. You want to make sure it doesn't leak out here. Just put some a small amount of compressed air here, or you can blow on it if you want to. Make sure it don't come out here. And you can test to make sure it's working inside. Is you run 2 wires off your battery, one there, and you'll hear it click. It'll sound like that when you're hitting it with the juice. That way you'll know it's good. I mean, if you want to get real serious, you could, I put a rubber hose on it, kept constant air or pressure on it, then hooked it up to the battery and blows the air out here. And what that does, it goes into the bottom of your intake. I'm not sure if I can get a shot on this, but if you can see inside, let me try to zoom this real quick. Sorry. That's not what to zoom in. Hold on. Alright, there we go. If you look in here, or down here, sorry. Let me get you closer. See that right there? That's where your throttle body connects. That right there, that little orange O-ring grommet, that's where your purge solenoid valve releases from the canister. Right there, right past the throttle body. That's where it consumes your built up carbons or fuel fumes. Anyway, so get that CCV all hooked back up, and you got to put this back together. There's one other thing I left out. Your DISA valve goes right there, and these two holes below the DISA, right there, that one and that one, that's where your idle air control valve mounts up. It'll go right above the throttle body. I put the throttle body back on first, then I'll put the idle air control valve. But your DISA will look like this. You want to make sure that this thing holds. You hold your flap down like that, put your finger over that hole there. So hold it, I'll try to do it with one hand. Hold that, and it should hold itself, and it'll let go. Flat down. I think that was slow because I was trying to hold it. I know I'm killing you with the camera. Try to get some assistance here. My leg. Okay, it'll look like that. And you let go, flaps down. So you know it's holding. Make sure there's an O-ring that goes right here. Make sure you take this thing out, you replace that O-ring. Because most likely it's going to be bad. It will be if you've never taken it out. I'd almost guarantee you. That is the DISA valve. This wiring harness down here feeds the DISA. The idle air control valve. This round plug here, I meant to tell you, it goes to the throttle body. You want to make sure you line your first line up, turn clockwise, tightens it up. Your second line will line up when it's where it needs to be. You want to spray silicone spray on that to get it off. And you want to clean your purge solenoid too when you got it off with some carb cleaner or something. Anyways, that's about it, guys. Oh yeah, inspect your throttle body boot. This is what was on mine, which I've never changed it since I had it. I got 270,000 miles on here. But you will most likely have a crack right there. Obviously it did. Someone, instead of just spending the $15, $20, $25 at the most, decided to, looks like Gorilla Glue it or something. Anyways, I've got a new one I'll be putting on. You'll most likely have a crack there. Inspect it everywhere for cracks. Make sure it's good. And same thing with your upper one. Oh yeah, idle air control valve. This is what it looks like. You want to make sure It sounds like that when you shake it. Gonna let you know that little guy in there is free. Let's see if I can get a shot on it for you. There it is. See that down in there? See it moving? That'll let you know that's free. You're it rattling like that. If it's not, spray carb cleaner down in here several times until you get it broke free. Make sure this is clean before you get it back in. That does make a big difference on the way your car runs. Also, mass airflow. While you've got it off, spray it with mass airflow cleaner. That will definitely help. I'm sure if you haven't done it, it's dirty. Reassemble everything. You got to put this shield back on when you're putting it on. You also got to put the air filter, cabin filter assembly back on, and your engine covers, and that should be it. Thanks guys for watching. Hopefully this will help you guys out that are putting this off. You can do it without taking your air intake off. It is not as bad as you think. It's just slow going and tedious. Thank you. If you like this, give a thumbs up, subscribe.